Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Chelsea, and if you're new around here, we like to do beauty related content on this channel. If that's something that you like, then please hit subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, then please click on the little bell and you'll be notified of every time that I upload. So we're very barefaced today because we're going to do a full face of the Made by Mitchell colour cases. So I've got the Essentials one finally, and then I've got the coloured electrics one as well, which I've not used yet, but I've had this for quite some time. So you've got your bright colours there, and then in here you've got all your nude shades. So we're going to do as much as possible. So eyebrows, hopefully, foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, eyes and lips. So if you want to see how this turns out, then please stay tuned. Just before we get into it, please make sure you hit subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy watching it. So I've had this colour case, the electrics one, for quite some time. I got it in a mystery box that I bought from TikTok, and it featured like new products. And yeah, I just haven't used it because I really wanted to get the neutrals one, which they finally sell on at Beauty Bay. Now on Beauty Bay they sell them for £25 each, whereas on TikTok they're £35 unless you had them in a mystery box, but I don't think you can always guarantee that you're going to get that into a mystery box. Yes, so finally got both of them, and now I feel like I can play with it because obviously the neutral one is the one that I'm going to be using for eyebrows, foundation, concealer and bronzer, and perhaps eyes and lip liner as well. Love a nude. And then with each of them you also get a brush with a spatula tool on the end, and then you've got like a flat headed thin brush that you can use to mix it. And I need to change my battery already. So it says that these are 12 pot paint palettes and that you can mix and match. They're multi-use cream formulas and all that dry matte onto the skin. So get ready to blend, buff and build depth. So far I've primed my face with the Primark Bobbi Brown dupe because this is a really moisturising primer, and because where these dry down quite matte, I want something quite moisturising underneath. And I've already use the P. Louise brow balm on my brows, so ready to fill in. So I'm quite nervous really, but also quite excited. I've been wanting to play around with this for ages. So I am going to use the neutral one first. I don't know whether to do eyebrows first or foundation. I'm quite pasty as well, so hopefully I can get a good match with this. Let's do eyebrows first. So I am going to take a little bit of this shade here, which is called Cooler. So this shade here, and I'm just going to scrape a little bit off, just a wincy bit, because apparently this goes like a long way, and just pop that onto the back of my hand. It is very creamy, to be fair. So I'm just going to use the P. Louise brush in the shade, in this P. Louise 125 brush, which is just a thin angled brush, and I'm just going to coat my brush with it and just brush it through my brows. God, this is giving me, well, this reminds me of the ABH dip brow days. I think if I was to use this as a brow product all the time, then I would probably want to get a better brush, more of a pencil gal. Okay, it's looking quite dark. When we clean it up, it will look fine. God, my eyebrows are so dark right now. Maybe I should have gone a little bit lighter, but I do like a dark brow. You know, when I've got my full face on, it will look better, trust me. Right, and I'm just going to carve them out quickly. So I'm just going to use a bit of this shade here, which is called Creamsicle, and I'm just going to take a little bit out. It's quite satisfying when you haven't used it, and now it's got loads of dip marks into it. And I'm just going to take a P. Louise Acid Rain brush, just a flat-headed brush. I think these are 7027, I believe. Really nice actually to use that. That's carved it out quite nicely. So now I'm just going to get a fluffy brush and just make sure it's blended in. I wonder how this acts as an eyeshadow primer as well. Okay, let's not judge the eyebrows. They will look better when I've got a full face on, trust me. Right, I'm going to use this caramel shade, and I'm going to mix that with that creamsicle, and I'm going to put that all into my crease, I think. And I'm going to use a Peaches PC34 brush, and I'm just going to blend that in a little bit. I'm not going to do anything too crazy on my eyes, just until I can get used to the formula of these, because I'm not really used to like doing eyeshadow with just creams, if that makes sense. I'm just going to take a fluffier brush just to blend that out a bit. That makes a really nice transitional shade. And that's covered up literally everything on my eyelid, like all those veins and everything. Now I'm going to go slightly darker. I think I'm going to use this shade, which is called Toasty. So this shade here. And I'm just going to scoop a little bit of that out on my outer edge. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but we will see how it goes. Just creating a bit of a C shape with this PC07 brush from Peaches and Cream, and that's a really nice shade. And I'll use that other Peaches brush to blend it out a bit. It feels weird using creams as eyeshadows, but these are blending quite nicely together. And because you're only using like a little bit at a time as well, I feel like this is going to last absolutely ages. Okay, I think that's looking okay so far. Now I think I'm going to go into the electrics one now, because I just thought I really want to mix like these two shades here with a bit of white. I really want like a pale, cute pop of pink on my inner. So we've got a really cute pink here, and I'm just going to, I don't want to do a cut crease, I just want to basically place it and then just dab it in. They just blend so nicely into each other, but I wonder if they crease. I don't know if I've got to set it or anything. I'm going to go with no, I'm not going to set it, but I hope they don't crease, because I've got a very creasy face. No, I think that is so cute. I think I'm going to put a bit of that in my waterline as well. So I'm just going to take a flat brush, and I'm just going to use that pink, what's left of it, and just pop this into my waterline. Apparently these are meant to be really, really good in the waterline as well. I'm going to take a bit more of this shade, and I'm going to mix it a bit with this shade as well, because I want a very just a dark line to go along my lash line. Actually, I'm going to use the angled brush. So let's get the spatula out. Made that little concoction. And then I'm just going to take a bit of that pencil brush and just blend in the edge. So that's the eyes basically done without lashes. So face, I'm a little bit nervous about putting it all on my face, if I'm honest, because my skin is very particular with what I put on. But I feel like it could be fine. It could be fine. Okay, so going back into the neutral one. So I'm thinking I'm going to mix, I think I might mix this one with a little bit of that one perhaps. So oats and creamsicle. I think I'm not very good when it comes to foundation matching, but we're going to give it a good go. I am so pale at the moment, so I think that'll be fine. I don't really know how much to use though. I don't want to get too much off. So I'm just mixing the concoction on my arm. Wow, I am very pale, so I think that's going to have to do. I'm just painting it on first, and then we'll go in with my brush. Although I'm a little bit worried because it dries down quick, so I need to be quick with this. And I'm just going to use my Peaches PC08 brush. Man, I'm so pale. And it's drying already. Just buffing it in first, I think, and then I'll pat. It's drying and it's so pale. Let me, maybe if I just spray a bit of my dewy spray from ABH, that might help loosen it up a bit. God, I'm a ghost. I might mix a bit of Unordinary into the mix. It is so matte and drying, but I suppose it is full coverage. Jesus Christ. Right, avoided going under my eyes. We are going to use a little bit as concealer, but I'm a little bit worried how that's going to go because it's not really setting in well on my nose. I don't know if you can see, but it looks so cakey. I think I might perhaps go in with my sponge as well. I've seen some people use it there and it looks so nice on their skin, but my skin is just not as nice as everyone else's, unfortunately. And therefore my skin's very not, like, it's not smooth, it's got a lot of texture, it's got large pores, so something like this probably isn't that nice for my skin, but you know, we're doing this for the video purpose. Okay, that looks a bit better now that I've used the sponge. I am going to use, I'm going to use coconut and creamsicle mixed together, so these two as my concealer. but mainly use coconut. Oh, that's white. Okay, maybe a bit more of creamsicle. We do like a bright under eye. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll do that for now. If you like a bright under eye, you'll probably like this. And this is going to look so cakey under my under eyes. I can see it already. Don't know, it's not setting well under my under eyes. I've got a few like little patches where it's just clung to. But, you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm also going to mix into that concealer bit for the other areas. I'm going to mix in a bit of oats. So this shade here with my concoction that's already in my hand because that's way too light for like other areas on my face. So I'll do this bit down here and then I'll blend and then I'll also do it up here. So that's that bit done. Now let's do cream contour, bronzer, whatever. Shall we go in with, I'm going to use a bit of Shade. So this shade here, and I'm just warming it up on the back of my hand first. And to blend that in, I'm just going to use the MF4 brush. Okay, I think actually what I should have done is dabbed on my hand and then rather than on my skin, because this is quite hard for me to blend out. So I'm going to go in with my sponge and let's add a bit of moisture to my face. Doesn't look terrible, but it's okay. So I'm just going to warm it up on the back of my hand first. And then, yeah, that's a little bit better. Like, do you powder over the top of this? It says it dries down matte, so assume not, but I'm a little bit worried it's going to go cakey. I'm also going to take that same shade and just blend out around my eyes a bit because this bit is looking a little bit patchy. Okay, that looks even worse. Right, we'll sort that out in a sec. Let's go down my nose. Yeah, to be fair, I think I do need to set with this because I'm looking at the pink and I don't know if you can see, let me just zoom you right in. The pink is like creasing. So I assume that you do have to actually set this with some sort of powder or eyeshadow because, and like, I don't know if you can see here, so it's definitely looking very cakey on my under eyes. So I'm just going to set that with, I'm going to quickly set my under eyes and that pink powder with just some loose powder quick. So, okay, and then I'm just going to set my eyes with this blush, just gently, I think, the lighter shade of the two, and just, oh, I think that looks even worse. Not quite the pink that I was after, to be honest. This is turning out to be a shambles. This is turning out to be a shambles. Why did I not just go over to my cabinet and just get out a light baby pink? I'm actually so annoyed with myself. Let me just use a little bit, or just use translucent powder. God, I'm so annoying. I'm actually so annoying. So I'm going to use the pink shade again and mix with the white because I want it to be like quite a baby pink. So I'm just going to do that now. And that's a really pretty shade. So I'm going to not make the same mistake again. And I'm just going to have I ruined it? This is giving me Sweet Cheeks vibes. No, is that a pretty shade? I don't know. Is that too light? I don't know. No, that's alright, surely. I don't know. I feel like this whole makeup look is a flop. Okay, I'm going to also use a bit of that up here. Because it felt like that pink on my eyes was a little bit of a different colour. Let's do lip liner. So I'm going to use, I think this shade here, so Caramel. I'm going to mix it with a bit of Shade as well, so the next shade up. I was just going to dip it in, but I think you need this spatula, to be honest. I think you need to be able to warm the product up on the back of your hand. I'm just going to use this Spectrum brush. And then I'm also going to pop a bit of, I don't know, Unordinary in the centre as a nude lipstick, I think. I don't know if I like this lip colour. Let me just put a little bit of a paler shade for the centre. Bit of the pink in the centre, shall we? Wow, this hasn't gone to plan. It looks like I've got concealer lips, so I can't cope. So this is the look all finished, and I've got mixed opinions if I'm honest. So let's start off with the brows. I think it's worked really well on my brows. I told you my brows won't look as scary when I've got my full face on, but yeah, they look fine, they feel fine. So with the brows, it's a yes. Then we've got the carving out of the brows, a big yes, really, really good. Probably really good as a eyeshadow base as well. The browns, when I blended out the browns, I thought that was okay. The pink, I've put on the pink and it hasn't really worked out for me for that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's a lighter colour or I've got an itch on my face. But yeah, I popped on the pink and it started to crease after a bit. So then I set it and now it's gone all patchy and creasy and cakey. So I don't think you're meant to set them, but then it was creasing. So I'm not too sure. Maybe I used too much product, but then I thought I did blend it out. So I'm not too sure. When it comes to my foundation, I thought the foundation at first it was very, very matte. It's very dry and you have to work quick, but I use a lot of my ABH dewy set spray just to help blend it all in, and it feels fine. Like, you know, it actually looks quite nice around the perimeters of my face, but then use it as concealer, especially here. I'm very particular with what I can put under my eyes because I've got very dry under eyes. I'm getting older and things like that. So under here it has gone a bit cakey. I did set it because it was creasing, and again the powder just clung to it. So I don't think you're meant to set it. If you're meant to set this stuff, please let me know down below. But I feel like the areas that I've set and made it worse. In terms of the cream bronzer and blush, I actually really like how it looks. It is dried down matte. I haven't needed to use anything else over the top. It's a little bit tacky, but not bad, and I think it will wear well throughout the day. In terms of lips, so I use the lip liners, but out of all these shades, I didn't really like any of them as lip liners because they were either putting through too warm or too dark. So I have ended up using a Morphe lip liner, but I've used the shade Caramel all over my lips, and again it is super, super dry and matte, which isn't usually what I like, so I have topped it with just an NYX lip oil because I just feel like it's better for me. So overall, again, let me just reiterate, so overall I like it for my eyebrows, cream bronzer, cream blush. I like it as a liquid liner and in my waterline. I think that's worked really, really well, and around the perimeters on my face for foundation, but I just probably wouldn't use it again as concealer, lipstick, or I don't know, I'm just going to have to play around with the eyes a bit more because I really want this to work for the eyes because I feel like it will be such a good product for my eyes, but I just need to get to grips with the formula. The formula is very dry and very matte. It dries down really quickly. You have to work quickly, and I just need to know if I have to set it or what I need to do to make it look not cakey, and so I don't need to set it. But yeah, apart from that, I think these are really... Apart from that, I think these are really, really good concepts. I actually really like the products, and yeah, I'm excited to keep trying this out and hopefully can get it to work for the whole face. But you know, this isn't something that everyone's gonna like or get on with everyone. Like, everyone's skin's different, and for some reason my skin is just very, very funny and particular with what doesn't settle or look cakey with, if that makes sense. But yeah, let me know if you tried these, and if you have, what are your thoughts on them? How have you made them work, if you have been able to make them work? And if you want to see some more videos of me trying these out, then do let me know. But just remember, this is the first impression, so yeah, I am going to play around with them a bit more and hopefully can get better with using them, because they are worth the money. You get so much bang for your buck, and I do like the colour selection as well, especially these electrics ready for the summer. I really want to be able to create some nice summer looks with this. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave me a comment down below, and hopefully I shall see you in my next video. Bye!